So in the meantime, as that's coming through, I will get started here. Just so everybody knows, as a webinar, this is going to start recording. So it's going to be recorded. And everybody on the call is currently muted. If you do have a question, please go ahead and use the chat function here in your dashboard. That will help us keep everything recorded and be a little bit more organized. So basically, I just wanted to grab everybody as best we could and talk about the changes that are coming down the line with LinkedIn. I think most of you are aware that our process is going to be updated a bit. We've been able to upgrade the number of recruiter seats that we will have for 2018. And so that allows more of us in the field to actually have a recruiter seat. And what this does is it gives you the ability to post jobs, it gives you the ability to do in-mail and run searches and so forth. And we have on our call today Sean Mealy. He's our customer success manager with LinkedIn. And hopefully he gets the invitation here so he can actually share his screen. Did you get that, Sean?
Yes, I do. Do I have to re-log in?
Um, you might. And if so,
Okay.
I can wait for you. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
My bad. I thought
yeah,
I
looks
thought
like
it had sent it earlier.
Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to re-log into this, so I'll be right back.
Okay, very good. So while Sean is relogging in, I will go through a couple of these things with you on the Nelson side. I'm going to share my screen. So most of you, I believe, have had a recruiter seat in the past. For those of you that this is new, I think this will be a great tool for you to use.
I'm back.
Okay, great. Oh, your name didn't pop on. Okay. So, can you see my screen? Can you see it, Sean? It's
I
the
can't.
you cannot.
I can't. Yeah, everything looks good on my end, Stephanie.
Okay, very good. Okay, so basically, what we're introducing here today is what is called job wrapping, and that's through LinkedIn. And so, what we've done with our new process is given everyone who has a recruiter seat the ability to post their own jobs to LinkedIn. For many of you, you'll recall that we had a process where it had to be a request through eRecruit, and then Aaron Jasper would take care of the posting for you, and then you would have to go back to the job and make sure that your request went through and it was posted and so forth. Now, what we have the ability to do is everybody who has job ad slots will have a unique identifier. So, for instance, as an example would be hashtag #eJasper_LI, and that will identify Aaron Jasper's job posting slot. And all you have to do for any job, so if you can see my screen right here, all you'll have to do is when you get to the posting portion of your job, and this is just an example, you would go in here and you would write _eJasper. And it's not going to be, I'm sorry, it's not going to be a full name. It will actually just be EJ_LI. And so it's basically a unique identifier that doesn't mean anything to anybody else except for us. And so any job that you have that you would like posted to LinkedIn. So the same rules will apply where it has to be posted to the Nelson Talent Network and so forth. But this is just giving you a very quick and easy way. You add your little identifier to the bottom of your job description and post the job to Nelson Talent Network, and every evening LinkedIn will come in and scrape the board and look for any job that has one of any of our unique identifiers and get that posted to LinkedIn. The beauty of that is then it's all up to you. You can decide which jobs you want to post, how long you want them to be posted. In the past, we have had a benchmark of having every job posted for 3 weeks. Now, we've heard back from the field that that's too long. Some jobs only need to be posted 1 week. Some jobs need to be posted 2 weeks and so forth. And so you have that ability now to take down and repost the jobs that you want. So we have a finite number of available job slots available each month. However, that those job slots can be reused. So it's on a rotating basis. So basically, at any given time, let's say for instance, Erin has 2 job slots assigned to her for the month. She can use those 2 job slots however she chooses. But at any given time, she can have only 2 jobs posted. And we've made these assignments and they've been approved by all of the managers, but it is something that can be fluid. So, if for instance, somebody in the Nelson and Associates San Francisco office has 2 job slots and maybe needs 3, however, the NNA SF office has a total of 5 job slots, we're allowed to reallocate those jobs. All you need to do is reach out to marketing. Following this meeting, I will send out what all of the assignments look like. And that way you'll be able to see, NNA SF has a total of 5 job slots, and of the, 6 users available in that office, they'll be able to swap those job slots as needed. Are there any questions yet? I know I apologize because this is a webinar, so it's hard to have audio questions, but if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them to the chat box. Sorry, I'm seeing a couple of notes. Okay. So really that's the basis of how we're going to be posting to LinkedIn from now on. I do want to pass this over to Sean. So you can go ahead and share your screen, Sean, and start talking about.
All right, perfect.
Also, I think everybody should be muted, but I just got a note that there's some background noise, so I hope it's not coming from me.
All right, is everybody able to see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Stephanie. Really do appreciate it. Just to kind of reiterate everything that Stephanie said, there's really a couple key points to remember. Each and every one of you are going to have a certain number of job slots. So just for a quick example, if Erin has 2 job slots, she can use those however she sees fit. Almost think of it as a parking space. I can park as many cars in there as I want to on a given day, but I can't park all 10 cars in that one particular spot. So again, if Erin has 2 job slots, she can post as many jobs as she wants. But LinkedIn, we're going to be wrapping her jobs every single night. So it's up to you to really tell us what jobs that you want to be able to post by adding a hashtag. And we'll let you know, each and every one of you, what your individual hashtag is, so don't worry about that. I have used in our chat window here. Erin's is actually going to be hashtag LI. That's how every single hashtag will start for LinkedIn and -EJ1. So that's just a quick example, again, of her hashtag, and you will have your own individual one. But super excited about this because not only is it going to save Erin and Stephanie a ton of time, but you as well. No longer will you have to add or ask for any types of requests. If a job can be posted, having somebody change it for you, you'll have complete control of your job postings within LinkedIn. So if you do have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm also chatting in my email as well as phone number. You, of course, know I'm here anytime you do need me. So, of course, if there are any questions, definitely keep them coming. The other things that we were going to be discussing today, along with job wrapping, is we're going to talk about some of the best practices, tips and tricks, also show you how to change your email within LinkedIn. But, of course, if you have any questions about anything else, please let me know. So just to jump into our screen here. So what I've done is actually log in as an admin under Nelson. So I just wanted to show you a couple quick things that you will see on your end and some of those changes. So starting here from the top of our screen. So if you just hover over jobs and manage jobs, if you're ever confused on what jobs are currently being posted, this is exactly where you're going to be able to see that particular area. So you will not be able to see, just so you know, you will not be able to see all jobs that are being posted, but we will be able to see here, if you scroll down to the left-hand side, what jobs are posted here by an individual. So let's just say if I'm Cindy Christie here and I'm logged into LinkedIn Recruiter, this is the only access that she's going to be able to see. It's going to be her jobs that she's actually posted. And why am I telling you this? Well, I just want to let you know that we are going to be taking a closer look to this. Stephanie, Erin, and as well as myself, really just making sure that we're utilizing the hashtags moving forward. So again, no more posting here directly from LinkedIn Recruiter and posting a job. You are going to have to do that on your end by using those hashtags, and we are going to be keeping a close eye to making sure, again, you are only using your current allotment. So definitely keep that in mind. So I'm still getting used to this chat panel here, but please let me know if there are any questions. Again, we're here to help. All right, so I'm actually going to exit out of here. I'm going to log into my own LinkedIn Recruiter account. Got to sign out and sign back in. And while that's loading up here, I'm going to go back to my LinkedIn.com page, because one thing that everybody's going to have to do today is update your email address. And that's really going to help us not only with the communication on behalf of LinkedIn, but really going to help us out with some of this job wrapping as well. So within your LinkedIn.com, if you hover over your profile picture, we're going to be able to go to settings and privacy. So again, over my profile picture here, settings and privacy. And it's the first one here, email addresses, pretty basic. But you do have the ability to add other email addresses here. So just for a quick example, you see my LinkedIn.com. This is my work email. So all the correspondence from LinkedIn and LinkedIn Recruiter are actually going directly from here. This is the easiest way for you to kind of set up and be comfortable with yourself. And again, you can't have more than one. So as you can see, I do have my personal Gmail account here. And this is completely customizable for you. This is like Nelson doesn't have any access to what email addresses that you are adding here, and you're able to change and remove any email addresses as you see fit. But I highly recommend, obviously, entering our Nelson email addresses and making it the primary email. So as you can see here, my LinkedIn.com is primary. If I would want to change that to my Gmail, it's very easy. All I have to do is actually just click this button, make primary, and then enter my password, and it'll automatically switch for me. So after today, I am going to send a follow-up email, and it'll show you directions on exactly how to do it. But it's pretty short and sweet to really update your email address here. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of everything today. So I'm going to be discussing some of the changes here within LinkedIn Recruiter, some quick updates for those of you who have seen me do webinars. Hopefully this will be a good recap of some of the things that we've talked about in the past, but hopefully you get a couple new tips and tricks. And again, let me know if you have any questions here. So starting here from the top of our screen. So a lot of people do this, they jumped right into advanced. If that's how you're searching within LinkedIn Recruiter, absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I don't want you to stop doing it at all. But I do want to make sure that you're aware of some of the other things that you can do here within our search bar. So as I click on that search bar, I do want to make you aware that you can enter a Boolean search string. And as I add in a quick example, again, this should be just a recap of all the supported Boolean modifiers on LinkedIn, and they're all actually within this Boolean search string. So again, just as a quick recap, if you're looking for an exact phrase like software engineer, you do need to have quotes around anything that is 2 words or more. Also notice that we have the and, not, and or modifiers that are all capitalized. That was not on accident. They do need to be capitalized. If I accidentally add in a modifier like this and it's not capitalized, we're actually going to search the word and across a lot of profiles. So obviously not going to be as accurate. So looking for a software engineer and somebody who's a software engineer with Java, and then I'm using the not modifier with parentheses around a group of terms because I don't want to see any of my competition, anybody with a recruiter or sourcer background. I will mention last thing here, we do not support the Boolean modifier. So if you're using this in any of your searches, again, it's not going to be as accurate. So you definitely don't want to make sure that we're using the modifiers here that I have within this example. All right, so moving forward again on some of the areas that I'm really excited about, some of the changes that we've made. Again, most of you should be aware of this, but we actually have something called the ideal candidate search. So just for a quick example, let's say Stephanie is my hiring manager, and about 6 months ago, I actually placed Renee on her team, and she follows up with me and says, you know what, Renee is one of our best recruiters. You know, I really want you to clone somebody. I want you to find somebody exactly like Renee. Well, you can do that. Of course, as I did that really quick, but I can select her name from the drop-down menu, set, go, and it's going to find somebody with her background. Just so you're aware, you can't enter in more than one person. So if you have placed multiple people under the same hiring manager, you can enter their names here and press go. So this is our kind of like our cloning ideal candidate search. And how are we pulling this information? Well, basically what you see is what you get. Here on the left-hand side, you can see that we have the job titles. We do not have locations, so I can't enter this information. I can add skill sets, but again, you can see we're searching by companies, industries, or anything else here on the left-hand side. So again, if you're ever looking to really hit the ground running, think about different ways that we can basically be able to search based on a person's current background. All right, so I'm going to go back here to our search bar. We're going to do one more, and this is very easy, just the job title search. So I'm going to say software engineer, San Francisco, and it's going to ask me for different skill sets. So I'll say Java, software development, we'll get rid of Python, and we'll just go ahead and press go. So just to reiterate, today was really meant to be a really high-level search. How are we using some of the new features within LinkedIn Recruiter? So starting here with the left-hand side, I do want to make sure that we are aware, really with this job title search, that you're able to basically create a Boolean rather quickly. So if you ever hire a brand new recruiter and you don't want to teach them Boolean, highly recommend the job title search as well as ideal candidate. So again, allow them to hit the ground running. But here on the left-hand side, we're going to see that plus button that I clicked. This is going to enable me to add in other types of job titles within my search rather quickly, rather than even typing them out. So if I want to say software engineer, software developer, it's going to basically help me cast a wider net and find those people who may have different job titles on their profiles. Even clicking Java engineer, we're going to see that we're going to get more and more candidates into our search. And that's really the main goal here. We're trying to cast as wide of a net as possible before we start using some of our other refinement filters here that we're going to talk about in just a moment. So again, think about all the job titles that you are going to be applicable for the role that you're working on, and enter them here on the left-hand side. So scrolling down here to locations. So we're actually going to be making an update to this rather quickly within the next couple of months. But I just want you to be aware, if you're ever struggling on a role and the hiring manager is open to have people relocate from all over the country, you can now select this from the drop-down menu, current and preferred. So watch that 26,000 number here. So once I click on current and preferred, I'm finding everybody located across the country that have these job titles, skill sets, and they basically listed on their profiles that they're open to relocating to San Francisco. So again, if you're ever working on a very difficult role, you want to open it up to the rest of the country, you can select this from the drop-down menu. And just so you're aware, this is actually going to be a brand new refinement filter. I'm not going to show you today, but I can follow up, where it's going to be a brand new refinement filter where it's going to have like a third drop-down menu. You'll be able to see current and preferred, or just open to relocating. So you'll be able to search for in a couple months on only those candidates who have mentioned that they're open to relocating. So they're not all going to be bundled together. Another thing I did want to mention, because this is relatively new as well, this is basically that not modifier that we talked about. So if you wanted to eliminate a particular type of skill set, and I'm just clicking HTML here, just kind of at random, but if I hover over this particular skill set, this blue pill, you see this circle with a line through it? Well, actually, when I click that circle, it's going to eliminate anybody who has HTML on their profiles. And I'll show you exactly how we're searching for skill sets here in a second, but this is the not modifier. And I just want you to be aware, they're available on all the blue pills. So even if you wanted to eliminate a recruiter from your search, again, just a quick example, you can enter it here and then click that circle with a line through it to eliminate anybody from your search there. So we're going to skip over a lot of these refinement filters. One, not to bore you, but two, we'll be talking about them all day if I go over every single one, but let me know if you have any questions. But this year's in graduation, this is about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer ago, we added this. We really did because we heard your feedback. Recruiters were complaining about the years of experience refinement filter that we still have, by the way. But the years of experience refinement filter wasn't working exactly how we all wanted it to. And just a quick example of that, if I graduated in December about 2 months ago, and I have my internships or part-time jobs listed on my profile, my years of experience may look like I have 3 to 5 years already. But we're looking for that individual contributor, that person that's fresh out of college. You can now find those people by being able to actually search here. We'll say 2018 to 2013. And I can find those people who either graduated about today or even 5 years ago. So again, just a quick example. Again, if I wanted to go back to even those December grads, I can go back here and just say add. So it also works too on the opposite side of the spectrum. We also heard from a lot of recruiters that even if I was looking for a director level person, sometimes that they don't list that all the experience that they did have. Maybe they only list their last 10 years of experience, but they graduated in 1990. Obviously, we can use this in conjunction. Keep in mind here that years in graduation as well, we are looking at their highest level of education on their profile. Now, how are we going to be able to search for a bachelor's degree if that's all I'm really looking for? Hold on to that question, and I'll definitely answer it for you in a moment. So schools, industries, keywords, we're going to skip over those schools and industries, but I do again want to mention here, any type of Boolean search string that you do want to enter will work in the keyword section, and you'll be able to add it alongside what we've already created here. The employment type, while it's not new, it is actually very, very important. If you're not utilizing this and you're working on contract roles or even full-time for that matter, you definitely want to make sure that you're taking in this piece of information. So the employment type is able to basically refine our search based on what the candidate is actually interested in. So they're actually telling us what type of roles that they're wanting. So for instance, if we see contractors, these people have either listed that they're interested in contracting type engagements or opportunities, but we're also using our algorithms to your benefit. So just for an example, some of the people could be listing on their profiles that they're actually interested in contract opportunities, but we're also giving you that information by just really putting our algorithms to work. So just for a quick example, if I've worked 6 jobs in the past 3 years, we can take a pretty good educated guess that somebody might be interested in those contract opportunities that you do have. So again, we're working on 2 pieces here. They could be saying that they're interested in contract roles, or based on their profiles, we believe that they may be. But same thing for those of you who are working on full-time, there's no reason for you to look through some of those profiles who may be contractors, so you can again eliminate those people from your search. So I'm going to pause here for a second. Are there any questions? All right, let's keep it moving then. So a couple of the other advanced refinement filters, I'm going to click advanced right here or at the bottom of our screen. Again, just going to go over some of the newer ones that we do have here. Well, actually, this one isn't new, but it's still very important. You can search by zip code, so you do not have to search by San Francisco, just for a quick example. So I can search within 10 to 400 miles of any zip code, and obviously I can eliminate any geographical locations here. So we know, especially if you do live in the Bay Area, the traffic here is absolutely miserable. So if I find somebody that are located within 10 miles of San Francisco, I know that they're definitely basing on commute times going to be interested in that role. Also too, this recently joined. So this is some powerful information here. So especially for those candidates who have recently joined LinkedIn, they more than likely did it for a reason. So you can actually search those candidates who just started maybe 2 or 7 days ago, or maybe even up in the past month. You're going to be able to find those candidates. And think about, again, why did they join? Well, more than likely, they're either starting or wanting to change their current careers. So we do see this from time to time, that a candidate will complete their profile. And again, they did it probably because they're in the job hunt. So a great way for you to find some hidden talent that would be interested in their next opportunity. For the rest of these refinement filters, again, we talked about the years in graduation. Just want to point out the years of experience. We do have years in current company as well. Why am I searching for this? Well, again, if I'm interested in contractors, more than likely, especially in the state of California, if you're interested in contract roles, you probably haven't been there for more than 2 years. So again, you can utilize that here. But we can also think about this in a different way. If I'm looking after some of those direct hires, maybe I want them to be at their current company for at least 2 years. So I'm going to go ahead and click add. And again, I can remove anybody that's been at their current company for less than, again, 2 years. So last thing I am going to mention here about these refinement filters, and I'll talk about some of the other newer features within LinkedIn Recruiter, is the type of degrees. So in the years of graduation, again, we could be searching for people who have graduated with their master's, maybe their MBA, but you can use this degree button and then search for those types of degrees. So again, if I'm only interested in somebody who's graduated from their bachelor's, that's exactly the type of candidate that we're going to be searching for. They graduated with their bachelor's between 2013 to 2007. Or of course, if we're not interested in their bachelor's and we're looking for somebody who at least has a master's degree, again, we can change it up however we see fit. All right, so we're going to go back out to our search button here, and I want to see if there are any questions thus far. All right, awfully quiet on a Monday morning, obviously nothing wrong with that. But I want to show this View Search Insights, and then we're going to talk about some of the reporting tools on InMails, and then we'll wrap it up here probably about another 5 or 10 minutes or so. So just for a quick example, this is another way that we can use LinkedIn Recruiter to really benefit us. So let's just say, for instance, maybe one of my sales partners comes back with the job description, and I'm sure this never happens at Nelson ever, but we'll just say the job description isn't filled out, and it's not a very good one, and you have no idea the type of candidates that you're looking for, you've never heard of this company before, and you really want to figure out their hiring bar. So basically what I'm about to show you is how to fill out that job description and know exactly the type of candidate the hiring manager wants you to find, even though they gave us that crappy job description. So this is just a quick example. We're going to be looking for a software engineer with Java experience at a brand new company. And I'm going to make this a little bit easy on myself. I'm going to pick on my current employer, Microsoft here. And I want to make sure that I'm finding those people here that are currently working at Microsoft. So again, I want to know what those people look like. They just recently graduated. I want to know what that hiring bar looks like because, again, I've never heard of this company before. Well, the View Search Insights is a bar here at the top of our screen. So once you get that job description, enter as much information as you possibly can, and then click on View Search Insights. And I just opened this in a new window. What this is going to do is give you a bird's eye view of those people that are currently working at Microsoft that have Java backgrounds as software engineers, and also to where they currently used to work and now where they're currently at as well. So we do have some overlaps sometimes. Keep this in mind. Candidates are more than likely not updating their profiles and ending their experiences at Lyft or Google, but they're, for the most part, we know that they're currently working at Microsoft. So this is a lot of powerful information. So we know Microsoft, I do at certain times give promotions, but these are the top 10 companies that they typically like to hire from. So again, if you've never worked for the company before, never heard of them, you know exactly the companies that they typically like to target. The experience already filled out here, but based on the years of graduation, again, we were able to figure out what type of roles that they're interested in or how much years of experience. Education, same thing. I know exactly what companies that I should be targeting. This is, again, helping me figure out my hiring bar. And then I can go to this compare all. So this is, again, comparing all those tabs that I just mentioned, but I understand the companies that they typically like to hire from, the years of experience, the schools, the locations obviously as well, and I can even see the candidates here below. So this is a great place for you to start, again, if you ever do, excuse me, get a bad job description and you need a little bit of help on where to start. I'll also switch gears here and utilize this compare all section. So another use case on why you would want to use this Search Insights is because it's, again, not only going to give you that bird's eye view, help you understand the hiring bar, but another use case is, let's just say, for example, you're working on a very difficult role and there's only 49 people in the entire country that can possibly do that role based on the experience and everything that you do have within that job description. Well, coming to this compare all section, you can actually print this out. You can actually have a consultative conversation with that hiring manager or even your sales partner and say, based on the information that you gave me, there's only 49 people who can possibly fill this role in the San Francisco area. So we either need to do one or two things. One, you need to lower your hiring bar for me to have more candidates to be able to reach out to, or you're going to have to be patient with me. As you can see here, there's only 49 people. I've reached out to every single one. They're not interested at this current time. I'm going to keep tabs on all these 49 people, and I'm going to reach out to all those new people using search alerts as well. So again, a great way for you to have that consultative conversation with that hiring manager or, again, your sales partner. Any questions there about View Search Insights? All right. So we are going to wrap it up today with a last thing here. We're going to go to InMail Analytics. And actually, I'll give you a behind the scenes look here. Actually, everybody close your eyes. This is how we're able to log in. Because I'm actually going to take a look at some of your own InMail Analytics. So I'm going to actually log in again as Nelson. So from here at the top of our screens, you can go to Reports and InMail Analytics. So if you haven't looked here in a while, we actually just brought this back probably Q3. It's a brand new page, a lot new UI here. But we're able to take a look at not only Nelson's, but we can take a look at your own InMail Analytics. So starting here at the top of our screen, one, I can choose specific dates if I want to start from 90 days ago, or if I want to select a date here. I can go to the admin filters. I can log in as a guest admin, which of course I am, or I can see different contractors or even people within that particular contract as well. So I can actually look at myself from a user basis. And of course, I'm not going to pick on anybody individually, but we are going to take a look at Nelson. So first things first, here at the top of the screen, very easy to understand. 32% is your average response rate, which I do want to give kudos to you. That is a very, very good response rate for a search and staffing company. Typically across LinkedIn, the average response rate is about 30%. So we can see that you are above average. If you are below this in an individual perspective, don't beat yourself up too bad. Keep in mind that you are competing against people that could be working on easier roles than you. As you can imagine, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get a hold of a high-level engineer than it is possibly a salesperson or anything else. But keep that in mind as well. This is the number that you should be striving for, and I'm going to show you some quick tips on how to do that. And it's really exploring this data. So here at the bottom of our screen, we can see what spotlights are really working for you. So first of all, past applicants. I'm really proud that this number is 72%. But just looking at this, I know that you guys have a heck of a lot more than 36 people to reach out to. So seeing that you have a 72% engagement rate when somebody is familiar with Nelson, we definitely want to make sure that we're utilizing some of those other spotlight features. And I can show you exactly what I mean in just a minute. But you can search within LinkedIn Recruiter on how to find those past applicants based on any type of search that you're putting together. Next, we can, of course, see the seats. So who has the highest engagement rates? So Joel, I'm not too sure if you are on this call. You are absolutely killing it. 59% is one of the highest that I've ever seen. So definitely want to give you a quick shout out. Joel, you definitely could probably help out others within your office as well. The reason why I'm showing you this is, again, feel free to work as a team. Ask Joel what's working for him, how he's sending out in-mail messaging. Maybe he's really good at searching and following up with in-mails. But again, whatever you're doing, Joel, is fantastic. Definitely keep it up. But the point here, again, is really just to work together and see what that person is doing. Even Jennifer, fantastic job. You're right there at the 32% average. Next, we can see the companies. So based on this type of engagement, we know what companies are going to be more likely to respond. So you're doing a fantastic job at Apple. Stop recruiting from LinkedIn right now. You're stealing all of our good people, appears. 48% is fantastic. But one thing I do want to point out here is Deloitte. We have obviously 0%. So I would definitely look at this and think, of course, we know Deloitte people that are working there are fantastic, but we really have to think about the messaging that we're sending over Deloitte. I would probably take a guess. We're not sending them personalized in-mails. We're not following up with them. But we know that these are great candidates, and we definitely want to have them in our pipeline, but you better be sure that we're giving them that white glove treatment, especially based on this engagement. We want to rethink how we're reaching out to these people and doing a better job. So I can go over all of these. I think we're kind of getting a common theme. What are the companies and schools that are easier to reach out to, time to enroll? Again, utilize this information to your benefit. And again, you can search for yourself here to really see what's doing best. And really here, the templates. So maybe two things that I should be going over here, and I'll jump back into LinkedIn Recruiter. We see in the last 90 days, only one person is really utilizing templates. And again, I definitely think there are some benefits here to utilizing templates here, but you can see, as long as you're using those templates over and over again, what type of messages are working the best for you. So we knew this VP of Ops, LD Texas, whoever is doing this, has a 36% engagement rate. So you can really see what type of messages, again, are working for you as long as we're using those templates within LinkedIn Recruiter. So of course, if I talk about it, you know I have to show it. I'm going to sign out and sign back in, so bear with me 1 second so I can get back into my own LinkedIn Recruiter. I'm going to show you really two things here. So one, how do we reach out to past applicants and how do we find them? So let's go back to that search we were doing earlier. Get rid of Microsoft just to make it a little bit easy on myself. Well, when you're putting together a search, I know we talked about these spotlight features. If you're not utilizing them, definitely feel free to join me in some of my other trainings. But you have other spotlight features here. So at the top right-hand side of our screen, we're able to see engage with your talent brand. These are people who are following Nelson, but also too here, if I use the drop-down menu, I can see our past applicants. So based on how few of people that we reached out to, we may have reached out to these past applicants just by chance. But again, with this 72% response rate, this almost should be the first one that we're reaching out to. So again, if they've applied to your roles at Nelson, they obviously know who you are. They've wanted to work with you in the past. And based on our in-mails, there's a 72% chance of them wanting to respond. And to be honest, that's not out of the ordinary for a response rate. So typically we do see anywhere around about a 60% response rate for past applicants. So definitely make sure that we're utilizing this from our drop-down menu as well. The last thing that I did want to show you here is making sure that when we're sending a message that we are utilizing our templates. So here in the top right-hand corner of an email message, rather than copy and pasting a template within our Word documents, you can basically create a template to say whatever you want. So I'm just going to type in test. Save as template. I can create it, say whatever I want. I can actually call it test here. I can decide to share it with my team or keep it to myself, and then click save. So this is exactly how I would save a template. And what I really mean by this, and again, I'm just going to go back out, discard this InMail. Once I start utilizing these templates all over again, I can see I can search for my templates here at the top of my screen, as well as the ones that some of my colleagues have created. Again, I can measure this now within our reporting tools. So I can really see if this template is working well for me, if I'm getting a high engagement rate or a low one. And again, what I really like about these templates is 90% of the work is already done. So I can just basically go here from her background and just do a fill in the blank model. So especially my experience is recruiting for Deloitte or people at Deloitte, this is typically what I just did. Again, a fill in the blank model based on your experience at Twitter and Yahoo. I think you're going to be a great fit for the role here at LinkedIn. You can mention where they went to school or anything else that you're really looking for. Again, a quick fill in the blank model. That way the actual candidate thinks that you are only emailing her and no one else, which we technically are. But again, a quick way to kind of plug and play here and then move on to the next role. So if you do have any questions and any other future learnings, definitely keep in mind with my February calendar, which all of you should have. If you do not, I can absolutely resend it to you. But again, if you want to have any type of training or want to meet with somebody like myself, you can take out a look at our February calendar. If you want to, again, learn how to use LinkedIn Recruiter for business development, again, quick example, or InMailing, or how to recruit millennials, definitely feel free to just click on one of these links, register, and join as many as you like. They're all free. All right, we have about 10 minutes left. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. If you do not have any questions, thank you once again for joining. I really do appreciate it. And please, again, let me know if you have any questions in the future. You should all have my email.
Hi, this is Erin. Thank you, Sean. That was great.
Yeah, not a problem, Erin.
And like Sean said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to send them in the chat or email them directly to Sean and I or Stephanie. But that will be it for today.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.